I'm Jerry Carollo with Hampton Daze magazine, covering the 21st anniversary of the Hamptons International Film Festival here in East Hampton. Ralph, tell me, you're here in the Hamptons. It's a completely credible film festival and acclaimed. Was it that much more satisfying that they accepted your film, that it's in a category called Views from Long Island?
Yeah, listen, any festival acceptance, but one as prestigious as Hamptons, it was a big win for us. I mean, I really wanted to have an East Coast premiere in a prestigious festival, and I'm a Long Island kid, so this is, it's win-win for me. The lead boy in our film is from Manhasset, and we shot it in Brooklyn Heights in New York City, so it's nice to be home.
Just clear it up. It was Miller Place you're actually from, right?
Miller, well, not from. I mean, we lived there, but I grew up in Dix Hills, Huntington.
Okay, good luck with the rest of the night. Enjoy the party.
Thanks very much.
You look like a heavy right now.
What's that? I don't play around.
You don't look like you play around.
I got the cast of Free Ride. The movie is featuring here in the Hamptons International Film Festival. Free Ride is set in the 70s. It's a single mom who's really having a hard life with her two daughters. She gets an invitation to move somewhere. It looks like all peaches and cream. It turns out to be simply not the case. Shauna is the director. Listen, you were a little worried. How the fuck do you like the Hamptons Film Festival so far?
It's a fucking amazing place to be.
Give us the rundown a little more on the synopsis of the film.
It's based on my life story. My mother was a drug runner in the 70s, so it's about my sister and I growing up in the wake of her rise and fall through the drug trade. Florida, Disneyland at that time. Really the end of innocence in America before cocaine. So it was a real focus of mine to try to keep it buoyant and fun and try to encapsulate actually how I felt as a kid being in that situation.
Okay. Leanna, you're a seasoned. How old are you? You're like 15 years old or something, right?
No, I'm 18.
Okay. Either way, you're already as.
I was like 15 when I did it, though, right?
Yeah, going on. I think you had a birthday.
Yeah. Well, no, I was 15.
Right. Well, like you said, you're already a seasoned veteran. You've been in huge films. What were some of the challenges in this film for you?
Well, I think it was one of the most difficult things was that, I mean, I had received the script from Shauna years before we actually started filming it, and when I first received it, I was actually the right age for it, and then you upped the age. So I think it was one of the most difficult parts was to really capture MJ's innocence and keep her really youthful.
Cool. Stephen Moyer.
Hello.
I have to ask you, do you actually star in this film as well?
No.
I know you're producing.
No, our company Chasm produced with Shauna, and obviously my wife Anna plays the lead, plays Christina, plays Shauna's mother in the movie, and it was one of those things that came along at a time when we had some projects going and were sort of set to start making some things, and then this came along and it was just such a great script, such an amazing story that we all sort of jumped into bed together very quickly, didn't we? And within about 6 weeks of meeting each other, we were on set and making this thing happen.
Right. Now, I know, you want to distance it to, you're the huge star of True Blood. Just by comparison, an HBO feature and then working with these folks, similar thing. They look like a bunch of pros working on much less budget than you would for someone huge like HBO.
It's a really wonderful group of people who wanted to make this thing work. And you would never know that this was any different in budget to anything that we do on HBO. It's about getting a group of people who are willing to go that extra mile and create. And even mine and Anna's assistant was working on the film, procuring cars, and he got something like 29 period cars for under $5,000. We got the Sarasota car club to give us their cars. I mean, it was incredible, and that's worth saying, actually. The people in Florida were so generous and welcoming and wanting to be part of this story and give us everything that they could to make it work. And when you've got a bunch of people like that, willing to help, you get things like this made.
Okay. Mark Larkham, producer. Let me ask you, even if everything goes off without a hitch on it, it's still a stress fest. How is your level of stress versus things going well? Just how'd the whole thing go from beginning to finish?
Every day is on a film. There's always stresses. There's incredible stresses, and especially when you're up against time, money, and everything, and it always seems like the world is against you. But you always do such great work. You always look at the product at the end of the day, and you're always very pleased with what you've got. And you know, we had some incredibly tough days. There was one day, I think it was one of the toughest days. We were at a restaurant filming, and our boss man, the great actor Jeff Hefner, was outside in his full 70s garb, running around on a Segway in the car park. It was the most anachronistic, weirdest thing you've ever seen, and we all just had lots of fun. The actors had fun. We all had fun. So yeah, stressful, but you know, filmmaking is great fun.
Well, like you said, you know, the film is called Free Ride. I hate to say it. It sounds like you got a free ride because you got some seasoned people with a great story, great people behind it. I think it's going to really, really do well here.
I did want to say that I believe that independent filmmaking is very much alive and well, and it's a testament to Chasm, and them coming onto a project like mine it gave me hope that independent film is alive, very much alive.
Great. Well, like you said, I got a feeling that's going to be proven. This is my 14th film festival out here. I'm out here for a long time. I'm catching a good vibe off a Free Ride.
Straight ahead, please. One more this way. Thank you very much.
I'm talking with Long Island native and director. He has a film in the 2013 Hamptons International Film Festival. This is Kevin Connolly. Kevin, let me just get started off. Entourage premiered in 2004.
Correct.
A short while after, I don't know if you remember me, it was out here. All right, now I know you remember now. I was one of the first people to treat you like a star. It was at a little club in Bridgehampton, and I was the one who told you the house is yours. I'll kick the crap out of any paparazzi, have a good time. Well, anyway, you remember, it's very nice to see you again.
I remember very well.
Listen, let's get started to it. You ever heard the expression, something is so good that something so bad you can't give it away?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Well, in 1996, Hofstra University was giving away Long Islanders hockey tickets for like a purchase of pens and notebooks or whatever. They were so bad that it made the news that people didn't even want the tickets until Dallas businessman John Spano swooped in and seemingly saved the day. Tell everybody why that is seriously not the case.
Well, you know, also it's funny that you would mention that actual story about giving away the tickets, because John Spano, a lot of things he was accused of doing was sort of profiting, and one of the things that they blamed him, met him about, was giving away tickets when he said, I had to give them away. That's not excusing what he did. I mean, obviously the guy did terrible things, but he said the one thing that he had to do was give. He said, I was giving tickets to anybody that would show up that would take them. So yeah, the Islanders were bad, and then listen, that happens to franchises, and it's more rewarding to be a fan when they're on their ups and when you stick with them when they're down. Yeah. Look, I'm a Yankee fan too. It hasn't been an easy year for that.
I myself, I call myself a Paradise Weather fan. I only like the Giants. I only like the Yanks. You got to be winning in the ninth, or you got to be up by 50 by halftime. Well, listen, let me ask you. You directed all your overall start to finish of all this stuff, all the interviews. Let me ask you: what is the challenges of directing somebody when you don't actually know what they're going to say or do, and it's not a script?
Well, John Spano is particularly tricky because he's John, and he's got ways of. He's a smart guy. He's not dumb. He got caught, but that was kind of a wild card interview. Yeah, Mike Milbury was an interesting interview. So, and especially not doing that. It's not what I do. I don't interview people. So I was rusty at it. I got better at it as it went along. But there was some moments where, look, the worst thing that happens is like something bad happens and it's good for the movie, right? So maybe if Spano tackled me or something, it would have been a great scene.
TMZ stuff right there. Well, like you said, you certainly don't want to give anything away about the movie, but you want to tell everyone about it. But let me just ask you, the only interview that Spano gave on this matter, did he give it to you, or did you and your people find it?
I had to court him for a while. I did. I courted him. He didn't want to do it. And who could blame him? I mean, it's 14 years later. He didn't want to do the interview, but I chased him down and convinced him.
Right.
Which was not easy.
Other stuff. Your character of E in Entourage was seriously butting heads with Seth Green's character.
Correct.
That was a little too real for me. In real life, you don't like him. You'd like to punch him dead in the face, right?
I know Seth Green, and I did a Matchbox car wash commercial together in 1982. I know the guy for 20. How many years ago was that? Who even knows? It's funny. I'm doing a TV show on CBS right now called Friends with Better Lives, and our soundstage is next to the Daze soundstage. So I see Seth Green walking around. I saw him the other day.
Okay, and like you said you got some upcoming stuff. Riff off what you got.
Yeah, well, I have the show that I'm working on right now is called Friends with Better Lives. It's CBS. Be coming on in January. We don't have an exact air date yet. And I directed another feature film called Dear Eleanor, which I'm editing right now, and hopefully have that out at one of these festivals next year.
Right. Just a quick shout out to your family. Someone closely related to you was a longtime member of the Suffolk County or Nassau Police?
Yeah, no, my brother and sister-in-law are both Suffolk County detectives in the 5th Precinct.
Oh, in the 5th in Holbrook.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. I've never been inside that place, you know. But let's just real quick. Just real quick, like I said, you know, since 2004, I just no one can call you an overnight anything. But let's say you exploded in 2004. Not only you're one of the big names in Hollywood, you're one of the most well liked. You know what I'm saying? That carries a lot of weight too. Like you said, there was a time before when you were like any other guy. You could hardly even get girls to have pizza with us. Now every time you go to your car, you got to check the back seat to make sure girls like Lydia Hurst aren't hiding back there. It's got to be a very rewarding feeling.
That's how I met her. Actually,
right.
That's how I met her.
If you get into anything really big, like some kind of action movie, can I audition?
Yes.
As a bad guy?
Good, yeah, you'd be a good bad
I'll try my best.